based on this, we are going to now design the elementary profile of gravity dam, and the section here is that we have understood all the stresses taking place or existing in the dam section. Now, in the profiling, while designing the dam profile, what we need base width of elementary profile. We will understand first what is the elementary profile, then we will understand the base width of the elementary profile, and then we will calculate the stresses in elementary profile, and these stresses would be calculated based on these two criteria, that tension is not taking place and sliding is not happening, and that the stresses in three types of stresses: normal, principal, and shear. All three will be calculated for these two criteria. So these equations are important. Important in a sense, we need also sometimes to calculate the height of dam, limiting height of the dam. So these equations are used in describing the dam height, whether dam is high dam or structurally high dam, or dam is a small dam. So that comes from this section. So let's see. This is elementary profile. What is written here? In absence of any other force than the force is due to water, an elementary profile will be a triangular in section. So first is taken only the water, not on even the weight of the dam, and not the uplift, not considered. So in absence of any force other than the force due to water, an elementary profile will be triangular in section, having zero width at the water level. Here at the here it is zero weight, and this is the bone of contention, that what should be the width at the base. So this is the design. This is the design. Important aspect of what we are doing till now in this semester. We are fighting, we are struggling. Come. हाँ. कैसे आना आवाज? अच्छा ऐसा है, कैसे हो? Everything fine? हाँ, लेक्चर चल रहा है, मिलते हैं आप जी, okay. So what we are struggling is to calculate the value of B, this base width. So let's do certain calculation based on this. Say this is triangular section, and this is as per to resist the only the water force. Now consider all three forces on this triangular section, which we assumed that this could be elementary profile of dam, and this would resist the hydrostatic forces which the reservoir water is exerting on it. And after storing water in this elementary profile, we have considered the water induced and the self weight also, this PU and the self weight also. So consider main three forces. Here it is written main three forces. Okay, acting on the elementary profile of the gravity dam. So this is the first, the weight which we understood. This is the weight of the dam, and elementary profile dam. This is the water pressure. We know the equation. B is the we assumed breadth of the dam. H is the height of the dam, is the unit weight of the concrete, and this is the unit weight of water, gamma W or WH square by 2 here, and this is the gamma W because of the water, H, and C is the coefficient of uplift. Many times it is taken 1. If it is taken 1, means the maximum uplift, and if it is taken 0, we are ignoring the uplift pressure. So writing 0 means we are taking risk. Consider this whenever, because in the subsequent equations we are going to change the value of C. So this is going to be critical in understanding the height and different stresses in the dam section. So this C, you should note it well, that what is C? C is the coefficient of uplift. It should be taken between 0 and 1. 1 means the complete, the uplift pressure is in action completely, and when we consider 0 means no uplift. So that need to be understood. Now we are arriving to the base width of this elementary profile. Base width means we are finding some sort of relationship for B. So what need to be done, that we have forces, and if we take two criteria to find the base. One is no tensile and second is no sliding criteria. So first is no tensile criteria. For that, your resultant should pass through this point, and this point is nothing but junction of the middle and the outer third point of. So for the reservoir full condition, this is for reservoir full condition, reservoir is filled completely, not up to the flood level, but normal pool level, NPL. For no tension to develop, the resultant R must pass through the outer third point. This is outer junction of outer third point. So it should pass. Taking the moment of all forces about M to this point and equating it to 0, we get this equation. This is W, B by 3 is the distance. W is acting here at CZ and it will pass through here. So this distance is nothing but B by 3. This is PH, this, and this is H by 3, and PU, this is PU, and this is also B by 3. So if you substitute the values of forces, then what we get is this equation and this equation. If you substitute all the earlier equations for the PH, W, PU, then finally what we get, that is this equation. B is equal to H. H is nothing but height of the dam divided by root SC is the specific gravity of concrete minus C. C is the here uplift coefficient. Now uplift coefficient can be taken as 1, as I said 1. So if we take C is equal to 1, then this equation is H divided by this root of, and if we take C is equal to 0, then B becomes B is equal to H by root C. So finding B is not difficult now. Look at this. If we are aware of C coefficient and we are aware of the height, then we could easily find out the value of base. Okay, how much it is going to be depending upon. So if we use the specific gravity as 2.4 and value of C as 0, so we are going to use this equation. In that case, the B will come out as the base width or breadth of the dam is going to be 0.65% of the height. 65% of the height. If C is 0 means no uplift is acting. If uplift is there means soil condition is not good. Soil is clay kind of thing. And you are considering that full uplift is in position, in action, then C is equal to 1. You consider as 1, and S is the specific gravity again 2.4. You can increase this depending upon the type of concrete. It can be taken 2.4, 2.45 or 2.5 if you are going for high and dense grade concretes. So but 2.4 is the standard value, and in that case if it is taken 1, then the base width of the dam is coming out as much as 0.85% of the height. तो यदि डैम की हाइट 500 फीट है तो नीचे ये 400 फुट चौड़ा भी होगा. So that is what is the best width. So this is first criteria, the criteria number 1, that no tension is generating. In that case, no tension means the resultant. This is resultant of forces. Here we are considering only 3 forces, and that is passing through the M2 point junction of the middle third and outer third point. Now we take the second criteria, no sliding criteria, and for no sliding to take place, for no sliding to occur, horizontal force PH posing the sliding should be balanced by the frictional forces. And what is the frictional forces? We are not considering the cohesion here. We are avoiding that, considering cohesion as 0 because that is safer side. So only friction is taken care, and friction is nothing but mu times W minus PU. W is the self weight, PU is the uplift, and P is the horizontal destabilizing force. If we equate these two, then we get again the equation in this format, that B is equal to H divided by mu times SC minus SC. And earlier it was H divided by root of SC minus SC. So SC is SC, it was in square root. And here there is no square root and this friction factor is coming out. We can take C value as 1 or C value as 0, and depending upon that, our equation reduced to B is equal to H divided by mu times SC for value of C0. So basic equation is this. Now, if you use the value of SC 2.4, the friction factor for concrete can be taken between 0.6 to 7. So that is 0.7, C is equal to 1, means full force acting, full uplift is in action. Soil is poor. So in that case, you look at this, the value of B, the base width is 102, more than 100 times, 100%. It's 102% of the height, 1.02 times the height of the dam. But if you take value of C as 0, then it will come out as this much. So both criteria can be used. One is the no tensile criteria, second is no sliding criteria. If you compare these two criteria, then the value of mu is equal to this. If you compare, if they are, says both the criteria are equal, if you put both values of B equating, then mu is equal to 1 by root SC minus C. That is what is the width provided for element Y should be greater of the width given by both criteria. So it is almost more than 0.8 or something like that from those criteria. So you can understand from this all calculations analysis, you could digest certain things. Now we have designed this, the value of B, and we also understand the value of H that is defined by the requirement, water requirement, and considering all these three forces, we come out with the value of B. So we could dump the concrete, we could construct the elementary profile, that is okay. But what are the stresses in the elementary profile? So which type of stresses we are interested now? We calculated stresses, the all three: normal stresses, principal stresses, shear stresses in the dam section, actual dam section. Now we are calculating the stresses in the elementary section. So stresses developed in the elementary section using first no tension criteria. No tension means the value of B, the normal का जो Pn की वैल्यू थी हमारी क्या थी, उसमें B की वैल्यू जो नो टेंशन से निकली है हमारी H by रूट SC माइनस C, तो वो रख देंगे हम. तो वो रखते ही जो वैल्यूज आएगी वो इक्वेशंस वो पहले वाली है. तो इसमें वो जो पहले हमने तीन इक्वेशन जैसे Pn की हमने निकाली थी सिग्मा V by B 1 प्लस माइनस 6E by B, तो वो इक्वेशन में B की वैल्यू जो हमने यहां निकाली है नो टेंशन क्राइटेरिया से वो रख देंगे. तो जो इक्वेशन बनेगी वो एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल के लिए होगी. वैसे ही जो हमने सिग्मा 1 की इक्वेशन थी Pn sec स्क्वायर फाई, तो इसमें जो Pn की वैल्यू यहां से निकलेगी वो सब वैल्यूज हम रख देंगे. तो जो इक्वेशन आएगी वो एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल की। तो यहाँ पे केवल सब्स्टिट्यूशन है, जो हमने पहले 3 स्ट्रेसेस निकाली थी वो सब्स्टिट्यूट करनी है। केवल ध्यान ये रखना है कि ये हमारा एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल है। तो एक बार थोड़ा सा देख लेते हैं ताकि आप कैलकुलेट कर सको। इनको याद रखने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, केवल समझने की जरूरत है। पहले 3 जो स्ट्रेसेस निकाली थी वो इक्वेशंस आप याद रखो, यहाँ पे सब्स्टिट्यूट करके केवल निकाल लो। तो ये क्या कह रहा है देखिए आपको कि फॉर फुल रिजर्वर कंडीशन द एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल E इज इक्वल टू B बाई 6। तो सिग्मा FV का वैल्यू ये आया, सिग्मा FV का वैल्यू ये आया। हेंस द नॉर्मल स्ट्रेसेस द टो एंड हील। प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेसेस में नॉर्मल स्ट्रेसेस जब E इज इक्वल टू B बाई 6 है तो उस कंडीशन में क्या होगा, P टो पे इतना होगा, हिल पे इतना होगा। तो इसमें FV की वैल्यू हमने यहां से उठा के इसमें रख दी, तो ये इक्वेशन निकल गई। और ये इक्वेशन FV क्या हुआ, सिग्मा FV केवल और केवल W और PU को माइनस कर दिया। और ये एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल के लिए 2 ही होगी, तो दोनों में रखते ये इक्वेशन आ जाएगी, तो हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। इसी वे में कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेस एट टो tan phi इक्वल टू B बाई H। दिस एलिमेंट्री जो हमने ट्राइंगुलर सेक्शन लिया था वो B बाई H एंड नो टेल वाटर P 0 कंसीडर कर लेते हैं, तो हमारी इक्वेशन ये रिड्यूस हो जाएगी। तो Pn की वैल्यू हमारी रख दी और फाई की वैल्यू रख दी हमने, तो ये इक्वेशन यहां से निकल जाएगी। तो इन इक्वेशंस बहुत ही क्लमजी सी है डेवलप की हुई, तो इनको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं, बस तरीका देख लो आप। शेयर स्ट्रेस की जो हमने Pn माइनस P tan phi देखा था वहां पे, इसमें भी वैल्यू फाई की वैल्यू रख दो और P और Pn की वैल्यू रख दो, तो ये इक्वेशंस निकल के आ जाएगी। ये नो टेंशन क्राइटेरिया के लिए था, वैसे नो स्लाइडिंग के लिए भी हम रख सकते हैं। नो स्लाइडिंग के लिए हमारा इक्वेशन जो है वो ये यूज किया है हमने, B बाई E इक्वल टू B बाई 6 नहीं लिया है, ये इक्वेशन लिया है। E को ये सिग्मा FV है, E इक्वल टू B बाई 2 माइनस X बार लिया है यहाँ पे। ये देखिए, the only thing on elementary profile while using the no sliding criteria, ये सोचने लायक बात है यहाँ पे और समझने लायक बात है। थोड़ा सा आप ध्यान दें इसमें कि क्यों लिया है, कि यहाँ जो इक्वेशन ले रहे हैं हम वो E इक्वल टू B बाई 6 ले रहे थे, यहाँ पे E की वैल्यू E ले रहे हैं, वेरिएबल ले रहे हैं, B बाई 2 माइनस X बार जो हमारी स्टैंडर्ड है। B बाई 2 X बार हमने देखा था द मोमेंट डिवाइडेड बाई वर्टिकल समेशन ऑफ वर्टिकल फोर्सेस, और समेशन ऑफ वर्टिकल फोर्सेस का हमने जो एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल में लग रहे हैं, और ये टॉप पे जितनी हमारी मोमेंट लग रही है वो कैलकुलेशन हो गई उससे। तो ये यहाँ पे रखते ये इक्वेशन एक जनरेट हो गई, और वो इक्वेशन हम यूज कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे पी एन टो और पी एन हील पे निकालने की, तो ये ऐसी इक्वेशन निकल के आएगी। तो ये एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल जब आप एक्चुअल में करोगे तब, या कहीं पे कुछ हो सकता है कभी कभी एमसीक्यूज में पूछ लेते हैं कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में इनकी, कि सब्स्टिट्यूट करने के बाद इक्वेशन कैसी रहेगी। तो 1-1.5 मिनट आपके पास होती है, 2 मिनट होती है, तो आप कैलकुलेशन करके निकाल सकते हो, ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगती, लगभग, और 1-2 बार ट्राई करोगे तो याद भी रह जाएगी। अभी हमारा जो था ये बेस विड्थ, ये सिग्मा, ये हमने निकाला था Pn, और ये सिग्मा 1 की वैल्यू वैसे ही सब्स्टिट्यूट करके और टो की वैल्यू वैसे ही सब्स्टिट्यूट करके हम निकाल लेंगे। कैलकुलेशंस में केवल एनालिसिस है और ज्योमेट्री यूज हो रही है और कुछ नहीं इसमें। अभी हमने लिखा था कि जब रिजर्वोयर फुल रिजर्वोयर लेवल था तब रिजर्वोयर एम्प्टी कंडीशन में स्ट्रेसेस डेवलप्ड इन द एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल। जब रिजर्वोयर एम्प्टी कंडीशन हो, वो फुल कंडीशन के लिए लिया था। व्हेन द रिजर्वोयर इज एम्प्टी द ओनली फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द एलिमेंट्री प्रोफाइल विल बी वेट। क्योंकि पानी नहीं है तो वो हाइड्रोस्टेटिक फोर्स नहीं है और अपलिफ्ट भी नहीं है, तो वेट ही उस पे होगा। तो Pn तो वुड बी इक्वल टू the principal stress is equal to 0 टो पे। क्यों? यहाँ पे फोर्स एक ही एक्ट कर रहा है, दूसरा कोई फोर्स ही एक्ट नहीं कर रहा। तो जो हम नॉर्मल स्ट्रेसेस हैं वो, और टो पे जो प्रिंसिपल स्ट्रेसेस हैं दे आर 0. At heel, what is there? Twice the W divided by B. When the reservoir is empty, only force acting on the elementary profile will be weight acting through the first third point. That is what is the kind of मोमेंट जब निकालेंगे तो फर्स्ट जो पॉइंट है M1 पे ये एक्ट करेगा, M2 पे नहीं करेगा. M2 कौन सा था मैं बताऊं आपको, ये M1 यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट 1/3 खत्म होता है, ये सेकंड 1/3 खत्म, मिडिल 1/3 खत्म होता है, तब M2 आता है. Hence sigma FB is equal to W and E is equal to not B by 6 but minus B by 6. Earlier we were using B by 6 at the M2, but that was plus. Here because it is downstream of or backward of the neutral axis, so we are using minus B by 6. So shear stress is 0 and maximum compressive normal stress is equal to principal stress at the heel. So this would be 0. If you put up this value, you will get 0 at toe. At heel, this is going to be 2 times W by B, and that is the value. If you put up the value of W, then it will come out like this. And toe and heel, the stresses is also 0 if you place the value as this. Now this is going to be last 2 slides only. Limiting height of gravity dam. Based on our this calculation, that sigma 1 we have arrived at. This equation, principal stresses developed in the elementary profile. This equation, H, the unit weight of water, gamma W, SC minus C plus 1. These are the stresses, the formula which we have just calculated. The only variable in the expression for principal stress sigma 1 at the top is H. This is the only variable. Otherwise, this is allowable stress is constant, this is constant, this is constant, and this is also constant. So the only variable in the expression for principal stress sigma 1 at the toe is H. The maximum value of this principal stress should not exceed the allowable stress sigma permissible. This it should not for the material. So this allowable stress sigma permissible is fixed. I have shown you earlier that the values of permissible stresses are fixed. They are 1/3 of the values or strength, cube strength of the material. So this sigma 1 should be less than or equal to sigma permissible. So if we equate this equation of sigma 1 principal stress for the elementary profile, which we have calculated from the no tension, we can take also for no sliding criteria, the same almost similar result would appear. So if we are using this equation H, then the unit weight SC minus C is equal to sigma permissible. Now if we use this sigma permissible, then H will become H limiting height, because it should not go beyond that. We are using maximum. It should be less than or equal. So if we are using equal sign, then it is limiting height. Are you getting? So this equation represents H limiting height. So we convert this H into H limit, and this equation becomes then H limit is equal to sigma permissible divided by gamma W in bracket SC minus C plus 1. This is the equation for limiting height for gravity dam to be low gravity dam or the high gravity dam, but this describes the limiting height. For finding H limit, it is usual not to consider the uplift and C is equal to 0. C is equal to 0. Why? Because this gives us the critical condition. If you deduct the value of C, if it is 1, suppose, then this will become sigma permissible divided by unit weight into SC only. So this is more lesser value we'll get if we are using the C as 0 in the limiting height. So limiting height reduce if we take C0 as sigma permissible divided by gamma W SC plus 1. Now, if you put up the value of SC in this equation as 2.4, sigma permissible as 3 Newton per mm square, the limiting height from that equation would come out as 88, because these are only the constant values. This is constant, this we know, and this is constant. So out of this, if we put up these values, then these are the kind of answers we get. If your height of the dam is less than limiting height, then low gravity dam. The definition here comes. What is the low gravity dam? Many a times there is a short note in examination, various examinations, the low gravity dam and high gravity dam. When height of the dam, your dam is less than H limit, then it is low gravity dam. But when height of the dam to be designed is more than the H limit, then that dam is high gravity dam. And if we change the material, then we can change this 2.4 and we can also change this permissible by changing the material. So in that case, it may change. If we take the higher grade materials, then 88 won't be the value. So you could check for sigma permissible, say it is 4 Newton mm square. What is the value coming out? Now the last point, this is important. If the height of the dam to be constructed is more than that of H limit, the section will have to be given extra slope to the upstream and downstream the sides below the limiting height to bring the compressive stress within the permissible limits. Because if we keep the same slope, then it is not going to satisfy this condition of sigma 1 being less than or equal to sigma permissible. So if our height is more than this height, this height is limiting height, and this is the additional height. This much is the additional height. So top portion of the dam is designed as the elementary or low gravity dam. Sorry, where is that? This one. So this much portion, any dam, if you are designing whose height is more than the limiting height, or that is a high gravity dam, then the top portion, depending upon the value of H limit, the height up to H limit value would be designed as low gravity dam. And that what we provide, the extra slope, this extra slope, this is horizontal, and here we are providing the extra slope, and on to downstream side also extra slope to keep the stresses, the principal stresses less than the sigma permissible stresses. If we increase the base area, this is how we are reducing the principal stresses in the dam body, that we are increasing the area so that more area can take larger load and generate lesser stresses. So principal stresses on principal plane would be lesser than the permissible. And for this, your IS code 6512 describe equation. Again, this is to be constructed as per IS code because there are equations mentioned for each. This should be designed in lamina, as I earlier said, of certain height, say 5 meter each, and The base width we calculate depending upon the equation given in the IS code 655.2. So that is what is written, and this is very, very important.